Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Thursday, June 16th, 2016 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I am this moment. And we've got some interesting astro stuff going on. We have the moon in Scorpio. We have Mars retrograde, finishing up retrograde in Scorpio over these next week and a half. And we've got Neptune now retrograde, and Neptune retrograde is working into a square with Saturn retrograde. So there's been some really intense energy as we're working through stuff. And the major thing with this energy today, the sun at 27 to 26 degrees in Gemini, is remembering to show up for yourself in this energy. So showing up for yourself means if you are exhausted, allowing yourself to be exhausted. Because if you're exhausted, chances are you are processing some of this heavy energy that's coming up, from within you, and heavy energy that's coming from around you. So be present to process that in the way that you need to for yourself. We also have, this major tug of war with Neptune and Saturn, and it's at 12 degrees. So ultimately, this resistance is asking us to expand, or we're being asked to expand through this resistance. But that resistance within us, we're being shown where we are putting up our dukes against the universe with our old beliefs, where we're still holding on with control to our old conditioning. And it's so interesting because Mars retrograde, meanwhile, is working and helping us shift our desires. And these retrogrades, these Saturn and Neptune retrogrades, are helping us shift and open ourselves so that we can get on path with these desires. But that old energy, those old roots, they're hanging tough. And so we're still working through this conditioning and this control. The moon today in Scorpio is going to be helping us shift this control. The moon in Scorpio is going to connect to Neptune, it's going to connect to Jupiter, and it's going to connect to Pluto. So that connection to Jupiter is just letting yourself be intuitive. How are you supposed to move with this energy? How are you being asked to show up for yourself in this energy today? The moon connecting to Jupiter is also kind of reminding us of that same thing. This brings it to a physical level. That's kind of like a spiritual level. Can you meditate? Can you tune in? Can you let spirit guide you? The Jupiter level is okay, what does your body need to be supported through this energy? How can you offer yourself self-love through this process, physical self-love, to find that balance? Because we're trying to find balance as the world is and now this, and now this, and now this. Finally, the moon connecting to Pluto really helps take the whole thing on another level, bring some transformation energy, help us shift into our power, remembering that this whole process is an energy of empowerment. So that being said, we're also in the last day of Venus in Gemini. So some self-affirmation, some time, mano a mano, me, myself, and I looking in the mirror, telling myself, you are doing good work. You are showing up. You're riding these waves. Some good affirmations for yourself may be great with that energy. Talk to yourself. Talk yourself through this, because this is tough for all of us. It's tough stuff. The other thing that we have that's really interesting as well is we have Lilith and Juno conjunct at 29 degrees Libra. So on a relationship level, you may find yourself kind of striking out in a way that you never have, to be true to yourself. And this is part of releasing the conditioning. And if you listened to our GPS, this energy came up a lot in the GPS talking about relationships. So you may want to go back and listen to that. Be true to yourself. It doesn't mean, a dissolution of your relationship, but it does mean these old relationship patterns that we followed are being healed and being broken through. The Lilith, that feminine energy that's I have to be true to myself, I am one unto myself, is coming through. And speaking of that, I've got cards for that as well. I've got the Fool and I've got the Dream. And this Dream card can be a card about releasing expectations or relationship illusion and starting a new path. The card that I haven't shown you yet with all of these cards today is the Silence card. And so I think that's going to be really helpful in our process, spending some time alone, in silence, in meditation, tuning into the energies and recognizing these energies aren't out to get you, they're helping you shift. And they're, like I said, they're tough for a lot of us. If you're feeling that toughness, spending that time alone in meditation is really going to help you with that toughness, because a lot of what's being tough is the releasing of that old conditioning and the releasing of the security of control. So, that being said, the Rumi Oracle card today. Never pulled this card and I was like, oh, this is so good. I pulled the card From Nothing to Everything. My computer screen's reflected in it. There we go. And it says, oh, my friend, if you are longing to be written, become a blank page. And it says this oracle comes with guidance for you. You're being asked to let go to receive, to become empty, to be filled. You're being asked to let go of attachments to an old lover, to receive genuine love, or to a fantasy of a dream job, to be guided into your more soulful and successful vocation. Our desires are shifting with this Mars retrograde, but you've got to let go of what you thought you want to really move into what it is that's really true to your soul. It's the divine paradox that when we are asked to surrender a story or fantasy, it is because reality is knocking. And so is Mahalo. It's knocking on our door more often than not with the delivery of what we have been fantasizing about, but in the best way for us. The human experience of this paradox is that you may feel you are giving up hope, that your fantasy is dying. Some of this resistance that we're going through. It may be very painful and bring you much grief, but all that is dying is your attachment and opinion about how it must be. This needs to happen so you can stop dreaming and start living it. Ooh, that's so good. This is what is happening for you right now. Do not fear any part of your process. Embrace it without expectation, with trust in your heart, so that the divine will simply guide you from fantasy into fulfillment. So let go of that conditioning and that control, and let's find this flow. So that is it for today, for right now. Book a reading if you want to dive in, if you want some help moving through what's going on in the astro right now, and I will see you tomorrow. Namaste.